Hi and good morning. My name is Syaza Mumtaza binti Mahadi and I am a final year architecture student from Faculty of Engineering. Today, I'd like to talk about an important issue that affects many buildings, especially in hot and humid climates, which is poor thermal comfort. Poor thermal comfort means that the temperature inside a building feels too hot or too cold for the people using it. This happens when the building doesn't control heat properly. There's not which there's not enough ventilation, shading, or insulation. I would like to share my opinion on this issue from a social perspective. In today's rapidly urbanizing world, especially in tropical and densely populated areas, many buildings are designed with minimal consideration for the local climate or the actual need of the occupant. Modern architecture trend often place greater emphasis on aesthetic, cost efficiency, or maximizing building up space, when neglect essential aspects such as thermal comfort and environmental responsiveness. As a result, we frequently encounter buildings that overheat, lack proper ventilation, and become overly dependent on artificial cooling system like air conditioning. This approach not only increase energy consumption but also impact the health and well-being of residents. In hot and humid climates, overheating can lead to serious issues such as dehydration, fatigue, sleep disturbance, and even respiratory problem. These problems are especially critical for vulnerable groups such as children and elderly and those with pre-existing health condition. I believe the most effective solution lies in truthful architecture design, especially climate responsive design. By integrating passive cooling strategies such as cross ventilation, strategically shading opening, high ceiling for better air movement, and the use of thermal mass to absorb and slowly release heat. Building can naturally regulate their indoor temperature. This strategy not only reduce reliance on mechanical system but also promote healthier and more comfortable living environment. Ultimately, designing with climate and human need in mind is not just a matter of sustainability, it is a matter of a social responsibility.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Firdaus and I'm a final year architecture student from the Faculty of Engineering. Today I want to highlight a common issue in many buildings, especially in hot and humid regions: poor thermal comfort. Thermal discomfort happens when indoor spaces feel too hot or too cold, making it hard for occupants to feel at ease. This usually results from poor heat control due to inadequate ventilation, lack of shading, or insufficient insulation. From an economic standpoint, the tendency to prioritize low construction costs in many developing and tropical regions has led to the widespread development of buildings that are not designed to respond effectively to the local climate. In an effort to reduce the initial capital expenditure, developers often choose uninsulated materials, sealed windows, and poor building orientation, measure that may appear cost-effective at first glance. However, this short-term saving comes with significant long-term economic consequences. These poorly designed buildings trap heat, limit airflow, and create uncomfortable indoor environments, leading to an increased reliance on mechanical systems such as air conditioning and heating. As a result, households, businesses, and public institutions face substantially higher monthly utility bills, diverting financial resources that could otherwise be allocated to the education, business growth, or public service. Moreover, the cumulative impact of energy-intensive building contributes to higher national energy demand, which can strain public infrastructure and increase fossil fuel dependency, ultimately affecting energy security and import costs. On the other hand, adopting passive design strategies such as natural ventilation, thermal insulation, strategic shading, and optimal building orientation during the design phase may increase upfront costs moderately, but offer considerable economic returns over time. This strategy reduce operational energy consumption, lower maintenance, improve occupant comfort and productivity, and even enhance property value. From a macroeconomic perspective, investing in climate responsive design supports a more resilient built environment, also lowers the financial burden on energy infrastructure, and encourage sustainable development. Therefore, passive design should not be viewed as an added expense, but rather as a smart and also future-proof economic investment.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Asfar Aiman bin Daud and I am student from Fakulti Kejuruteraan and Alam Bina. And today, I am going to talk about an issue that affects both our comfort and our environment, which is poor thermal comfort, especially in urban areas. As our city grows, they become more dependent on food and material transported from far away places. This leads to higher fuel consumption and more carbon emission. At the same time, most area lacks enough green spaces or land for local farming. This not only limits access to fresh produce, but also increase environmental pressure, making it harder for city to stay cool and sustainable. Because city rely so much on external food source, we end up with more packaging, waste, and greenhouse gas emission. Also, the absence of greenery in cities worsen the urban area heat island effect. This means cities are becoming hotter than rural areas due to all concrete, asphalt, and the lack of trees. On top of that, huge of waste, huge of food waste are thrown away and sent to landfill instead of being reused. All this contribute to poor thermal comfort, especially for communities without access to natural shade or cooling. One effective solution is to create more community gardens and better use of green spaces in urban planning. This garden can serve multiple purposes. Firstly, they allow people to grow their own food, reducing the need for long-distance transportation. Secondly, supporting composting, turning food waste into natural fertilizer instead of landfill pollution. And lastly, and importantly, they cool down urban neighborhood by adding greenery and improving air quality. By rethinking how we use space in our cities, we can improve thermal comfort, cut emission, and make our environment more livable, all at the same time. So, poor thermal comfort isn't just about feeling hot, it's sign of deeper environmental problems. But with small changes like community gardens, we can build cooler, greener, and more sustainable city for everyone. That's all from me. Thank you.